Bruce Willis wasn't just a movie star. He was a revelation in how audiences came to understand heroism. Long before capes and CGI dominated the screen, Bruce showed that courage could look tired, worried, even bruised, and yet still be unwavering. From the thrill of Die Hard to the unexpected twists of Pulp Fiction, from the tension of Armageddon to the quiet moments in The Sixth Sense, he brought to life men who were not invincible, but who refused to give up. That refusal, persistent, human, and imperfect, became his signature. Behind the one-liners, explosions, and worldwide acclaim, Bruce's life was one of deep humanity, marked by challenges, growth, love, and vulnerability. As his time in front of the camera draws to a close, the story he leaves behind is not just cinematic. It is emotional, personal, and enduring, a reminder that resilience and heart often outshine fame. A childhood shaped by change. Bruce Willis was born on March 19, 1955 in Idar Oberstein, West Germany, into a world still rebuilding from the scars of war. His father, an American soldier, and his mother, a German woman, worked to create stability amid uncertainty. From the very beginning, life was delicate and circumstances demanded adaptability. When Bruce was only 2, his family moved to the United States, settling in Carneys Point, New Jersey, hoping for a brighter future. Yet the path was not easy. Their home was modest, finances were limited, and the atmosphere carried its share of tension. Despite these challenges, these early experiences cultivated in Bruce a resilience that would follow him throughout life. Growing up in this environment taught him lessons that formal education could not: empathy, attentiveness, and the quiet strength of carrying responsibility beyond one's years. Learning to grow up early. As the eldest of 4 siblings, Bruce naturally assumed a role of protector and observer. He learned to read the room, to shield his younger brothers and sisters from stress, and to keep moving forward even when the world felt heavy. There was no room for excuses, only for determination and perseverance. Yet amidst these responsibilities, he faced a deeply personal struggle, a severe stutter that made communication daunting. Speaking was often a daily challenge, each word a small battle. This difficulty brought moments of withdrawal, self-doubt, and silence. Yet it also nurtured an inner patience and careful observation that would later serve him in life and in art. Finding his voice on stage. Everything changed when Bruce stepped onto a high school stage at 17. Under the bright lights, something extraordinary occurred. His stutter disappeared, and words flowed naturally. For the first time, he felt a sense of freedom, expression, and control that had eluded him for years. Acting did not remain a hobby, it became a lifeline, a place where he could express emotions that had been bottled up and connect with others on his own terms. The stage was transformative, shaping not only his career, but his identity. From that moment, Bruce understood that no matter life's obstacles, there were spaces where he could thrive and make himself heard, leaving home with determination. In 1973, Bruce Willis left New Jersey with very little more than a suitcase, a sandwich, and belief in his own potential. New York City, with its relentless pace and sharp edges, was challenging. While he briefly pursued formal drama studies, he quickly realized survival required flexibility and practical effort. He worked a series of jobs: factories, security, driving, and bartending, experiencing life from multiple angles while learning about people, timing, humor, and resilience. Winters were harsh, living conditions were sparse, and the path ahead was uncertain. Yet every day offered lessons that no classroom could provide. Behind the bar, in the faces and stories of strangers, Bruce was quietly building the foundation for a career rooted in human connection. The bartender who never stopped performing. Bruce's nights behind the bar became as important as any rehearsal. He developed a presence, a charm, and a sense of timing that captivated patrons. He played harmonica, joked, and engaged customers in ways that felt natural yet magnetic. These nightly performances were not driven by ego. They were survival, practice, and preparation for the future he was carving out for himself. The bar became an unconventional classroom, teaching him lessons in observation, resilience, and connection that would later translate to the screen. Auditions during the day might have been full of rejection, but the bar offered immediate feedback and honed instincts that could not be taught in any acting school. Patience through rejection. Audition after audition, Bruce faced doors that did not open. Casting directors often overlooked him, and rejection became a steady companion. Yet he treated each no not as a personal failure, but as part of the process of growth. He honed his craft quietly, improved consistently, and waited patiently for the right opportunity. This patient persistence became a hallmark of his career and life. Rather than pushing forcibly into spaces that weren't yet ready for him, Bruce allowed his skills and authenticity to eventually create the opportunities he deserved. The role that changed everything. In 1985, Bruce auditioned for the television show Moonlighting, a moment that would change the trajectory of his career. Unlike the polished actors producers expected, Bruce brought an energy that was raw, lively, and deeply human. He did not merely recite lines, he reshaped the character with his presence. The show quickly became a success, and Bruce went from relative obscurity to household name. Audiences were captivated by his charm, humor, and relatability. Television suddenly had a leading man who felt real, approachable, and memorable, a combination that would serve as the foundation for his future success in cinema. Becoming an unlikely action hero, Die Hard arrived at a time when studios were skeptical of Bruce's suitability for action films. He did not fit the mold of a conventional hero. He wasn't towering, he wasn't intimidating, and he wasn't a muscle-bound figure designed to dominate the screen. But Bruce brought a different approach, portraying a hero who was human, exhausted, scared, yet unyielding. The performance resonated deeply with audiences, offering a new kind of heroism, one that celebrated perseverance over perfection. Die Hard became a landmark success, earning over $140 million and transforming how viewers saw action heroes. Bruce's career, and the action genre itself, would never be the same. From actor to cultural icon. After Die Hard, Bruce Willis became more than a popular actor. He became a symbol of relatability and endurance. His characters were flawed, vulnerable, and human, yet they inspired audiences to believe in courage through imperfection. He demonstrated that strength was not measured by invulnerability, but by the ability to persist, adapt, and show up despite challenges. This authenticity expanded his influence beyond Hollywood. Studios and audiences recognized that Bruce brought something rare, the capacity to connect deeply while entertaining, a combination that would define his legacy. Building a legendary career. Throughout the 1990s, Bruce delivered performance after performance that cemented his versatility and stature. Pulp Fiction reminded the world of his dramatic depth. The Fifth Element showcased his range. Armageddon highlighted his blockbuster appeal, and 12 Monkeys proved his willingness to take risks with challenging roles. At the height of his career, he commanded attention both on and off the screen, with financial and creative freedom allowing him to shape projects around his vision. His performances combined charisma, humanity, and commitment, creating a body of work that would influence generations of actors and filmmakers. A career-defining financial decision. One of Bruce's most astute career moves came with The Sixth Sense. Instead of taking a traditional, massive upfront salary, he chose a smaller payment combined with a percentage of the film's profits. When the movie became a global phenomenon, grossing over $670 million worldwide, this decision proved not just financially wise, but emblematic of his thoughtfulness and trust in storytelling. Bruce consistently showed that success in his career was not about ego or immediate reward, but about understanding value, timing, and collaboration. Expanding wealth beyond Hollywood. As Bruce's earnings grew, he also invested thoughtfully outside of Hollywood. He acquired properties in Idaho, New York, and other locations, not for extravagance, but for privacy, peace, and stability. These investments reflected a man shaped by early life uncertainty, someone who valued safe havens over fleeting luxury. By combining career success with financial foresight, Bruce secured a life that offered both opportunity and serenity, a balance rarely achieved in the entertainment world. Love, family, and fatherhood, in the late 1980s, Bruce met Demi Moore, forming a connection that would become a defining chapter in his life. Together, they built a family, welcoming 3 daughters, and navigated the complexities of Hollywood life while prioritizing love and care. Fatherhood became central to Bruce's identity, shaping his values and actions. His dedication to family revealed a man whose most meaningful role was not on screen, but at home, where he worked to nurture, protect, and guide those he loved. When success challenges relationships. Even as Bruce and Demi's careers flourished, time remained finite, and the demands of film, promotion, and travel created inevitable pressures. Their marriage eventually ended, not in acrimony, but with reflection and care. Bruce later reflected that the most difficult part was not public perception, but the subtle, daily rhythms of family life that were disrupted. Despite this, both parents remained committed to their daughter's well-being, demonstrating that love can transform rather than vanish when relationships evolve. Choosing cooperation and grace. After their separation, Bruce and Demi exemplified a rare kind of partnership in Hollywood: cooperative, respectful, and centered on family. Holidays, birthdays, and milestones were shared with kindness and intentionality. This approach reflected Bruce's enduring commitment to connection, showing that strength often manifests not in dominance, but in care, understanding, and shared responsibility. The family he nurtured became a testament to love that adapts and persists through life's changes. Reflecting on the costs of fame's success brought Bruce fame and fortune, but it also came with its subtle costs. Time, presence, and the quiet moments of everyday life were the greatest losses. He often remarked that wealth could not replace the simple joys of being present for loved ones. Yet Bruce navigated these challenges with perspective and integrity, balancing ambition with values, and reminding those who followed his career that meaningful life cannot be measured by public accolades alone. Subtle signs and personal change. By the late 2000s, close observers noticed gentle changes in Bruce's energy. His spark remained, but there were moments of quiet withdrawal, slight confusion, and adjustments in the roles he chose. These shifts were subtle, a reminder that even the strongest individuals face moments of vulnerability. Those around him responded with love and patience, supporting him in ways that reflected the human connections he had always cherished. A diagnosis that changed life. In March 2022, Bruce's family shared that he had been diagnosed with aphasia, a condition affecting language and communication, which led him to step away from acting. This news was met with compassion, understanding, and public support. In 2023, the diagnosis was clarified as frontotemporal dementia, a progressive neurological condition. Despite the difficulty of this news, Bruce faced it with the same integrity and grace that had defined his life, surrounded by family who embodied love, patience, and steadfast presence. Love at the center. Emma Hemming Willis, Bruce's wife, assumed the role of primary caregiver with remarkable dedication. Alongside Demi Moore and his daughters, she created an environment of stability, joy, and meaningful interaction. Music, laughter, gentle touch, and shared experiences became a new way to communicate, demonstrating that love can adapt and flourish even when circumstances change. In this stage of life, Bruce's family showed that connection transcends words, and presence can be its own language. Redefining strength. Bruce had spent decades showing the world what courage looked like on screen. In his later years, he redefined it quietly. Strength is not always about action, confrontation, or independence. Sometimes it is about receiving care, resting, and allowing others to support you. Even as language faded, his presence remained a force, teaching that dignity, love, and human connection are forms of power just as profound as heroism in cinema. A legacy beyond wealth. Bruce Willis leaves behind an estimated fortune of $250 million. Yet his true legacy is emotional, not financial. He changed cinema by redefining heroism. He valued family above fame, and he approached aging and illness with grace. His philanthropic work, particularly supporting children and veterans, reflected his belief that success carries responsibility. More than accolades or bank accounts, Bruce's enduring influence lies in his humanity, generosity, and the lessons he imparted through his life and art. The role that mattered. Most above all, Bruce Willis will be remembered as a devoted father, loving partner, and a man who never forgot his roots. He portrayed heroes on screen, yet the courage he showed in life, through family, love, and perseverance, is what endures most vividly. His choices, compassion, and authenticity are the threads of a life that transcends fame, a life that inspired others to face their own challenges with honesty and heart. The enduring reminder. Bruce Willis's story reminds us that success is measured not by recognition or wealth alone, but by resilience, kindness, and the relationships we nurture. He lived fully, imperfectly, and authentically, embracing both triumph and challenge. And even after the screen fades to black, the legacy he leaves will continue to resonate, a testament to the